In the 17 or 18 years that we've been alive, we've been taught countless pieces of information. This information includes random facts and also the experiences we've had and the memories and things we've learned as a result. Among these things, we've learned pieces of knowledge and we've gained. The knowledge, however, is more than simple facts or bits of information. It is the combination, utilization, and especially the interpretation of these things. Knowledge is defined as facts, information, and skills acquired by a person through experience or education, a theoretical or practical understanding of a subject. We are all here on stage today because of our own knowledge that we've gained, and it has molded and transformed who we all are. So I would like to take you all on a journey through a few of the countless things we've learned over the years that have contributed to our knowledge, our character, where we are today, and where we're going tomorrow. In elementary school, we learned the alphabet. We learned how a bean plant grows. We learned how to tie our shoes and how to tell time. We learned to hate nap time and to love recess. We learned that it's okay to lose a spelling bee, but not as okay to lose a good game of kickball. We learned to say please and thank you, and how to be the line leader, or the Leslie revered caboose. Most of us learned the entire storyline and every line to every episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. We learned the effectiveness of the phrase, faster, faster, we need another master. And even more importantly, that our mom's hugs can make everything better. In middle school, we learned that our bodies were changing and some of them changed faster or slower than others. We learned how to torture substitute teachers. We learned that sometimes people are better than us at things. It was later that we learned that that was okay. We learned how to use a scientific calculator and how to make a PowerPoint slideshow. We learned how to say bonjour et au revoir en français. We learned a little bit about ego, and we learned that boys are dumb and girls are mean. In high school, the ball really got rolling. We learned a lot about drama. We learned how to use a graphing calculator and the soul-crushing sound of dropping one. We learned that SparkNotes can ease the panic before a test, and that the Tequila Remix song is the best song ever. We were taught the date of the French Revolution, which we promptly forgot, and we learned how to do the Cupid Shuffle. In chemistry, we learned about valence electrons, and that Mr. Ritchie gets really mad when you don't listen to him talk about valence electrons. Some of us learned the hard way that Mr. Bancroft will fail you. But we also learned that talking on a banana phone can make Mr. Fraser crack a smile no matter how hard he's trying not to. We learned the quadratic formula, and that you can go on every roller coaster in Busch Gardens in less than 2 hours if you are determined to do so. Some of us learned that Mrs. Atkinson will dive into the pool with all of her clothes on if dared. And then she will tell Mrs. Kelly that you pushed her. We learned that applying to college is hard. Some of us, me, learned 6 years too late that we, also me, ate cupcakes that your friends licked the frosting off. We learned how to make Coach Countryman and Mr. Buell blush. We learned how to drive a car, and some of us learned how to crash a car. You know who you are. We learned that Mr. Finster makes the best pancakes ever. Us girls learned that to get a tall, dark, handsome, retired Navy firefighter ship captain to come to you, all you have to do is break your toe off the curb and send Mrs. Atkinson to get napkins to clean up the blood. And most importantly, we learned that if I were to get attacked by a shark, Zane would volunteer to save me. Somewhere along the way, we learned other valuable lessons. At some point, most of us learned that people change, or they don't, but you don't get to choose who changes. We learned that we all make mistakes, and that forgiving someone is hard, but it's the best way to move on. Some of us learned what it's like to fall in love. Most of us learned what it's like to have your heart broken. We learned that people come and go, and people disappoint you sometimes. We learned that hide and seek in the dark will never get too old or young for us. We learned that sometimes you just need a nap, and sometimes you just need to cry, and sometimes you just need some chocolate. We learned that being a kid is okay every now and then, even when we aren't kids anymore. We learned that life isn't fair, life is hard, but we all learned that life is worth it. Tonight we are graduating. We are finally closing this chapter in our lives. this time of learning and experience life in this place. But we are only done here. We will never be done learning or adding to our bank of knowledge, character, and experience. We are ready to move forward with new things, but we will maintain the knowledge and memories we have. We are moving on tonight, my fellow classmates, and we have but one thing left to learn, and that is how to say goodbye. Thank you.